Alright, so in this video I'm here revisiting the Chicago Electric Welding 90M Flux wire welder. Now this is from Harbor Freight for the people that don't know, but anyways, I had to take my brother's machine, pretty much replace it with the replacement warranty. Took this in, got another one, and when I came to open it up, me and my brother noticed there was a couple differences on this thing, and just pretty much the way to open up the top lid has been changed. That's the first thing that we've noticed. Also, the over temp light is a little bit different. So they've done a little bit of changes to this. Assembling the handle is much easier now on this. Also, this helps. This holds the welder lid on there, so you can, when it comes to picking up the welder, I mean, it's pretty much grabbed in there. So the other thing about that feature is that it also has a lot of tension on there, so it does take some pretty strong fingers to actually depress that just to pop that thing open. They have revised the welding settings on the inside because the original ones came saying that they were DC electronegative, as you can see on my other videos, but as you can see on this one, it's been changed to AC. The settings still look the same. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back to the original video and actually look at that, but those are the heat settings for the AC. But everything else seems to stay about the same. The welder still includes the knurled drive inside, or the knurled drive rolls, and everything else though has been the same. It's a good thing that they did work on that lid though, because the other design was really crappy. Now they include a 2-pound spool wire with this machine, and as you can see on the video, that is not a 2-pound spool, that is a 10-pound. No, that did not come with the machine. I actually bought that. But what I've noticed, that you can put a 10-pound spool in there. It does come with the plastic housing already pre-made for this roll. I mean, there's no attachments that you got to put on there like Lincoln or Miller machines, but as you can see, there's a lip there that fits right on the 10-pound spool. That fits right in there, and that allows you to hold in a 10-pound spool of Flux-cored wire. And I'm sure you can still close the lid. Yeah, I mean, there's no problems there, of course, because I've had it closed. But you know, that's a good thing about these welders that I've noticed. My brother's older one, that thing could take the 10-pound roll, but it used to also hit on the sides. So I think that could be a revised feature. I'm not sure. But that's a good thing that you can put a 10-pound spool now, because I know a lot of people buy those little spools and they burn up pretty quick. I mean, if you go buy a whole bunch of Lincolns, if you're a Lincoln guy or a Lincoln wire type of person, you burn through Lincoln wire much faster than this Harbor Freight stuff. I'm not going to get into all the technical things about it though, since I know there's a whole bunch of expert buttholes out there that's going to comment on this video, but anyways, I mean, I just wanted to show those features. Those pretty good features. I will tell you though that when it comes to putting this 10-pound spool, you must trim the piece of plastic that's out here because it protrudes about 2 inches, and I've gone ahead and I've removed 1 inch of it, which is right in my hand here. So I've removed 1 inch, so I'm able to use that. I mean, that's modifying the welder, I guess. I don't know how warranty-wise goes there, but I don't think you can get... I mean, I think just modifying it that small would probably avoid the warranty, but I don't know. I'm not going to get into the legality of stuff, and, you know, I'm just showing you that you can use a 10-pound spool of Flux-cored wire with this. Just to show that I ain't lying, you know, I'll press the trigger here, and there is wire coming out. So it does work. I will recommend, though, if you do use one of these 10-pound spools in your machine, to tighten up the drive roll or the idler roll on the drive system here, because if you do not, it will slip. And also, the drive rolls are knurled, so there's no problem. I mean, you don't have to actually tighten this thing all the way down. I mean, I guess you can, but it will still pull on the wire if you tighten it all the way down. Just because the knurled part of the drive rolls give it that extra grip that grab onto the wire. So you can put your 10-pound spool there. It fits perfectly. It rolls back and forth. And I never really noticed if this 10-pound spool actually fit real well on the old welder. I know that it was used, but I just don't remember. I just remember just throwing it in there. My brother's the one who actually used it. I'd have to ask him, but I mean that's really good, though, that you can put a 10-pound spool. There's no having to put an adapter or make a adapter for the back like the older blue type welders. So I mean, with the 10-pound spool there installed, I'm pretty much ready to rock and roll. I still haven't welded with this. As you can see, it's still brand new, but I'm sure it's still going to be the same as the old welder that my brother had, and I do have those reviews up on my channel, so if you want to look at that, go ahead and check it out. So here's some welding that I thought I'd show that I did with the machine. This is my first weld. I just tacked this thing, welded it up. The thing about these welders, when they're new, they weld like no other. I mean, they're freaking awesome. They do pretty good, especially for Flux-cored. But as time passes and you wear this out, I mean, you wear it out every time you're using it anyways. I mean, the windings inside on the welder, they're not going to last forever. Nothing lasts forever. That's the first thing that you have to realize. Not even a Miller, not even, it might last a lot longer, but nothing lasts forever. That's my point right there. But these welders, though, they're worth the money. If you ask me, $89 and to stick metal together, come on, you can't ask for much. For the buttholes out there that I get bombarded on my other welding videos and whatnot that I have done with Harbor Freight welders, there's a whole bunch of idiots out there. I mean, they expect quality X-ray welds, whatever, with Harbor Freight welder, and you know, my welds might not be pretty or whatever, but they stuck. And I mean, that's freaking awesome for Flux-cored, because Flux-cored is what it is. And just like Harbor Freight Welder, it is what it is. You get the warranty. They offer the warranty to you for 2 years. When it comes to these welders, I've been having to take it back every year to get a new one, and I do use it from time to time. From time to time use or prolonged heavy use, I mean, it does get worn down, and eventually, I do have to return it and pretty much get the warranty. I mean, that's why it's offered. I mean, come on. It's not that I'm trying to fraud them or anything like that. It's, they offer a service, a warranty. If it doesn't work, they know their items don't work. I mean, Harbor Freight buys these welders for real cheap, if not pennies on the dollar, and then they sell them to us for $100, $89, whatnot. And then, if you don't get the warranty and you use the machine pretty heavy, I mean, after a while, it's not going to be worth much anymore. But at least, you get what you pay for, or at least you get out of it what you pay for, because after a couple of uses, I mean, you're going to pay the machine off anyways, even if you're not working for somebody or using it as a business. Because if you take this stuff to a welder just so he can run you a bead like this, he might charge you $30-$40. And especially those hardcore professional butthole welders that charge you $90, $100 an hour just to weld you a little couple inch beads, just because they have a Miller 3000 and it came from the end of the earth and it runs on 10 phase power and what the fuck not, and it came from the 23rd century, that it was used to weld the Star Trek Enterprise. They want to charge you $100 for a 1-inch bead. But yeah, I hope that you guys get what I'm saying. I mean, a lot of people don't give these welders as much credit as they should. I don't know. I think a lot of people are getting bad batches or whatever. I mean, Harbor Freight has a lot of good stuff, and Harbor Freight has a lot of bad stuff. Anybody who shops there will know this already. I know this. I've known this since I first went into the store, because you go in there and they try to sell you a little crappy engraver for $3. Come on. If you want a quality engraver, you're going to pay a couple hundreds of dollars. But that's only if you're in the business of doing it. Harbor Freight is pretty much for the home hobbyist anyways. They say that it's high quality tools at a cheap price and whatever. Yeah, you do get what you pay for. On some stuff, you get shit is what you get. You get junk, and they'll screw you out of $5-10. So it's pretty much one of those things that, sometimes chicken, sometimes feathers. When it comes to paint guns, I've only gotten 2 good ones, and those ones I'm keeping, and I take care of them. The other ones that I've done were all crappy, but I got videos on those. I got more videos on the Harbor Freight welders, but like I said, it's a pretty good welder for $89. Come on, what do you guys expect? If you can't get a decent bead out of the machine, then it might be your welding skill. If not, check the power source. I have a whole bunch of people that bombard me on something that I said on one of my previous videos about make sure you're running it on a 20 amp plug, on a 20 amp outlet. And it's not just about changing your outlet. I know that, to 20 amps. I mean, you do have to have the wiring for it and their breaker and all that. And I'm not going to get all technical on the electrical. I'm not an electrician, but I do know, and I will tell you, that boy, oh boy, does it make a difference welding on 20 amps, or a dedicated 20 amp outlet with breaker, compared to a 15 amp or a house outlet or any other outlet that is 15 amps, and try welding it with the machine on high. It's not going to give you a good result. If you go and you do it with a 20 amp outlet, I mean, that from my experience, it welds like no other. It welds pretty good. There's no problem. You can weld on high, and the wire doesn't lag. The actual machine doesn't lag. But on 15 amps, it lags for some reason. But that's just my experience on it. And I'm not going to argue with the people out there, with the professional electrical guys that know everything. or the know it all, know nothing people. But you know, it is what it is. It's a Harbor Freight welder. It does decent for $89. It's all right. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching.